One quick question. These days, how do you call attention to your own minority group? Demonstrations, political protests, maybe lobbyists in Washington? Well, in 1981, the simplest way to publicize your minority was to call yourself a majority. The moral majority hates all those T&A shows on TV. In fact, they hate them so much, they're watching them 24 hours a day.
When a problem comes along, you must whip it before the cream sets out too long. You must whip it when something's going wrong. You must whip it.
We're talking about scenarios, talking about language, pornography, bedroom scenes. We're not talking about going back to Ozzie and Harriet necessarily. Nothing wrong with that.
So many times the kids are watching TV and the family doesn't know about it. Some families don't care.
We had on NBC a Sheriff Lobo at a sex clinic. We had BJ and the Bear with 7 jiggly lady truckers. We had Flamingo Road giving us an hour and a half of hot adultery. Not to be outdone on CBS, we had Kate Jackson portraying a public school teacher who was busily trying to seduce a male student of hers.
Now whip it into shape. Shape it up. Get straight. Go forward. Move ahead. Try to detect it. It's not too late to whip it. Whip it good.
We have 5 million people right now ready to begin temporary or permanent boycotts of all the products of the companies that just will not show responsibility to the American people.
Advertisers do not want any controversy at all, which is why red channels worked when it started in the, late 40s, early 50s, and it's why you can worry that this kind of repression is going to work, and it's why you have to stand up and fight it when it starts, not after it has control of communications in this country.
It comes to the point of what you want your children to see or what you don't want them to see. And I think that that's a family choice.
I disagree with the moral majority, as you may know, and as Richard indicated, and help to form an organization to counter them.
If you want to put pornography on television, then put it on HBO.
Hey, you can't say that on Showtime. That's the last time I buy one of his products. March. Moral majority goes to court to have biblical creation taught side by side with evolution.
People came to this country for their religious freedoms. They came here to exercise those basic rights and to believe in them, whether they're right or wrong, good or bad, true or false, popular or unpopular.
Are supernatural concepts properly included within a discussion of within a science?
No, science does not commonly include supernatural concepts in presenting a scientific case.
Do you believe that man evolved from the apes?
No.
Do you believe that man evolved from reptiles or fish?
No.
Our concern is only whether Mr. Seagraves and others like him and his children are having their free exercise of religion thwarted. That's what we're talking about.
The moral majority wasn't the only group with a political axe to grind this year. Anti-nuclear groups strongly protested the construction and licensing of power plants worldwide. Women's groups continued to fight for the passage of ERA, and environmental groups fought the policies of Secretary of the Interior James Watt. And out in California, there was another kind of fight brewing. It started out as an agricultural battle, but it soon escalated into a full-scale political war.
I want to mobilize the community, mobilize my government to try to control the fruit fly without jeopardizing the health of the hundreds of thousands of people who live in the area. I am not going to stand by and order an aerial spraying as long as I've got people who tell me they can do the job on the ground.
We are prepared and indeed intend to entirely quarantine the state of California.
I'm not prepared to precipitate an economic crisis that would cause huge losses and widespread unemployment. Therefore, I'm ordering the beginning of aerial spraying as soon as we can establish safety procedures and properly inform the residents of the affected area.
And so the aerial spraying began. Pesky medfly hung on bravely, but his days were numbered. And for the residents and workers of Central California, there would always be something in the air to remind them of the summer of '81. Malathion. June. Terry Fox, Marathon of Hope runner and Canadian national hero, dies of cancer. In Kansas City, a weekly dance party at the Hyatt Regency Hotel turned into a nightmare as the second tier of an overhead walkway collapsed onto the dance floor.
I was scared. My mom just said, be calm, and it was really scary. There was dead bodies buried in the dirt, and my knees were tucked up, and my knees were up my chin. They're right up here. And the connection between my leg and my body part, see, that hurts real bad because I was under there for 6 hours.
Over 100 people died in the tragedy, which raised serious questions about the safety margin of futuristic building design.
How can they possibly have this thing work when it looks as though it's just stuck together with rubber cement? It's magic. Well, sometimes magic fails.
February. Military coup attempt during Parliament session in Spain fails after a 17-hour siege. December. Libyan hit squad rumored to be in the United States, hunting top government officials, including President Reagan. Among the great tragedies of 1981 was the continuing story of Atlanta's murdered children. Month after month brought nothing but more and more bad news. As many as 28 black children were thought to have been victims of the same murderer.
I keep my doors locked. And plus I have 7 children of my own, 10 grandchildren. I don't want anything to happen to them.
We not only have reached our goal of $100,000, we have exceeded our goal of $100,000 reward. And this is the reward.
And I think it's a disgrace to us as black people and those who have money to show such little concern for such an important thing. $100,000 don't buy a Rolls Royce today. They cost $150,000.
Muhammad Ali donated $400,000 to the reward money. Other celebrities turned out for local benefits. Finally, after 22 months, the police reported progress in the case.
At approximately 5 p.m. this date, Wayne Williams, who was a black male, aged 23 years of age, was taken into custody on an arrest warrant charging him with the criminal homicide of Mr. Nathaniel Cater. Mr. Williams was arrested without incident at his residence, which is located at 1817 Penelope Road Northwest.
At the end of the year, Williams' trial was just beginning and no more victims had been discovered since his arrest in June. The citizens of Atlanta still grieved for their lost children. We knew it was already December. We all sat down to Christmas dinner after a hard day playing Space Invaders and Centipede, and then it was on to a new year. And what did the old year leave us with? Just odds and ends, really. Alligator shirts, video discs, variable rated mortgages, no frills books, decaffeinated soft drinks, Princess Di, and Indiana Jones. We hope you enjoyed our show. If we maligned your favorite hero or left out your favorite villain, we're sorry. And by the way, the show was running a little long, so we cut out a whole segment on the poor, the handicapped, and the elderly. We're sorry about that too, but hey, we had to cut somewhere. 1981, it's history. I'm Robert Klein.